Maslaha, for people who don't understand, maslaha is basically the benefit, the advantage, something that's beneficial to me. Okay, so as human beings, we obviously all follow our maslaha. That's how we were created by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Everybody follows their maslaha. When you go out in the morning, for 99.99% of people, what they are truly thinking about is what's good for me, right? Or at least what's good for my family and everything. You're not walking in the street and looking at every person around you in the market or in the mall and saying, are my actions good for these people or will it hurt them, right? So there's one last computer that's on sale. It's the final unit. If I like it, good price, I'm buying it. Nobody says before I buy it, I should look, am I going to hurt someone? Is someone maybe someone need it more than me tomorrow? So no, as human beings, we all go after our maslaha. Now, are all masalih good? Are they all good? We all agree that not. Because that's why we disagree on masalih. That's why we fight in this world, right? Even big powers, they fight for masalih. They fight for lands, for economy, for many other reasons, for influence. So who's going to determine what's good maslaha, what's not good maslaha? It's Allah Azza wa Jal. It's in the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that's why in the books of usul fiqh, usually they divide maslaha in three types of maslaha. You have Maslaha Shari'ah, so we have the masalih that were confirmed by Islam, like maslaha of siyam, maslaha of fasting. If someone says, is fasting Ramadan beneficial to us or not? Because it gets hot and we get thirsty and everything. So no, there's maslaha. This is maslaha. This is good. Why? Because Allah Ta'ala, He said that we have to do it. Anything that we have to do in Islam, either because it's maslahatun mahda, surfa, it's 100% maslaha, or maslaha rajiha, there's more good in it than bad. Okay, so like al-jihad fi sabilillah azza wa jal. So when fighters, soldiers, they go in any nation, not just in Islam, to defend their nation. Imagine a nation being invaded by the enemy. People, they go out. Is there a negative side to that? Is that mafsada? Of course, you're exposing yourself to dying. You're leaving your family behind. You might be wounded. You're losing time instead of doing business. Maybe you will be victorious, but you will die, and people will enjoy victory, not you. So they will enjoy victory. So if you look at it from that perspective, look, this is a loss. But there's maslaha in it because the greater good is bigger than the disadvantage, the negative side of it. So that's maslaha shar'iyah. Then you have maslaha mulghaath. Maslaha mulghaath is maslaha which was cancelled clearly by the deen of Allah Azza wa Jal. There's no, I'm not buying. Don't even try to promote it. It's batil. I'm closing my ears. I'm not listening to you. Like in some Muslim governments, some Muslim countries in the Arab world, they produce and sell alcohol. Why? Oh, it's good for the economy. We know alcohol is haram, we know. But, it creates jobs and it brings us, currency, dollars and euro from the outside. So they're trying to use a maslaha narrative. Everyone, look, people, they have to understand this. As we said before about Fir'aun, it will rarely happen. Only, I'm sorry for the word, but only the dumbest of shayateen will come to you and say, look, I want to invite you to Jahannam. Please come with me to Jahannam, okay? I'm an evil person. I'm so scary looking. There's fire on my face like this. Please follow me. I want you to be with me in Jahannam. It will never happen, probably. So everyone inviting to evil will always bring some beautiful narrative, some beautiful reasoning behind it. Recently I did a long series on the story of Adam alayhi salam, and while teaching it, even me myself, subhanAllah, even myself, while teaching it, I was surprised, I was amazed how the story of Adam and Iblis really destroys all the ideologies, all the foundations of all these ideologies that we have nowadays. Really, like, it fixes your mind, it brings things all the way back. Shaitan is promoting to Adam alayhi salam, go eat from that tree. He'll say, eat from it and join me in Jahannam. He's promoting it. There's maslaha. This is the tree of eternity. He's doing marketing, shaitan, right? It is maslaha. Don't do this. I'm an advisor to you. I'm professional. I have existed before you. I know what these things are about. Go eat from the tree. So everyone can come and say this has maslaha in it. Anything. Literally, if I was evil, astaghfirullah, may Allah Ta'ala protect me. If I was evil, with the information now I know about Islam, although I'm not from the ulama, but I have enough information about Islam to be able to release one video per day and question a new foundation of Islam every day by using some shubha, some dalil from Islam itself, and by trying to convince Muslim that this is maslaha, this is good. I can do this every day. Every day I can invent something new. I can say, no, they just didn't get it back in days. Times have changed today. I'll be lying. I'll be using tricks like magic, sorcery. That's what it is, right? يلبس الحق بالباطل. That's the most dangerous thing, is when you mix truth with falsehood. So this is maslaha mulghaath, anything that goes against. That's why the ulama, they have a very clear principle. لا اجتهاد مع النص. There is no ijtihad. You know, my ijtihad and Yasir Qadi's ijtihad, and we are the scholars of North America, and we know. That's what they say. They say the scholars in the other parts of the world, they don't live with us. We are the scholars of North America. So, you know, they have made themselves, basically, they have assigned themselves this formal authority position that we are the ulama here. We are making the ijtihad. It's interesting that Yasir Qadi also makes ijtihad for Pakistan and for why don't you just say those people, they have their ulama? Why do you speak about matters happening around the world elsewhere, right? It's not fair. But here again, there's no ijtihad when there's a text. Nas meaning sarih, something clear from Quran, from Sunnah. There's no ijtihad. Nobody can make ijtihad. It's very known that Imam Shafi'i rahimahullah, he said, إِذَا صَحَّ الْحَدِيث فَهُوَ مَذْهَبِي. If the hadith is authentic, if you people after my death hear about a hadith that I did not know, well, you should know that hadith is actually my madhab, represents my madhab. So that number 3, we have masalih mursalah. Maslaha mursalah, third type of masalih. Masalih that are kind of left up to us to decide. And this is where the debate happens. Even maslaha mursalah, called like this, there's no agreement on the ulama of usul fiqh that they follow maslaha mursalah. Although practically speaking, that kind of all of get to the same thing, right? Everybody follows the masalih, but they don't all agree on the name of the masalih. Maslaha mursalah, is it a dalil in the sharia or is it not? So maslaha mursalah, for example, like I was telling some brothers that do urban studies, I'm like, you know, if you go in the books of fiqh, you will find some amazing things about urban measures in Islam. What the fuqaha, they said, you could not build a bakery, I don't know, next to a house if the window is made like this. It's all maslaha mursalah, because you are harming your neighbor. By default, we cannot prevent you, right? Nowadays, we have traffic lights. You have to stop at the red light. He says, why? I don't feel like stopping. Is this in the Quran? No, this is maslaha mursalah, because it leads to hifdhun nufus, to protecting people's souls. And there's no compromise of the deen. Like, what are you sacrificing from your deen by stopping at the red light? You're not sacrificing anything. So if a Khalifa was to enforce the red light and the traffic lights, no alim will tell him you're just making up new things in the Sharia or whatever, right? So this is the concept here of maslaha al-mursalah. Now, maslaha, look, if you read the kalam of the ulama, you find the ulama, even Imam Ibn al-Qayyim and the most like athari, traditional ulama, they will talk to you about the importance of maslaha in Islam. That here, I'lam al-Muwaqqi'in, he talks about everything in Islam is for maslaha, and there's nothing that's just there for random reasons. Allah Ta'ala, he knows there's a maslaha, there's a hikmah. But at the same time, the very same ulama who talk about the importance of maslaha, they would go to the extent sometimes in a different context of calling it taghutul maslaha. Taghut, it's the false idol of maslaha, meaning that some people, maslaha, they took it as a separate reference, as a separate ideology. They took it out of the sharia, that it has become now taghut. It went out of its place, right? So look, if I say your parents in Islam, your father, Islam talks great about your father and your mother, the rights of your father and your mother on you. We all agree on this. وَبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا, it comes right after the importance of Tawheed. Allah Ta'ala mentions it, some ayat and so on and so forth. Now, if you take it out of this system, out of the boundaries of Islam, and someone says, my father is always right, I live my life to please my father, no matter what happens. No matter what if my father says, you know, make sujood to the tree, if he says make sujood to me, I'll make sujood to him. Now we say, what? Your father is a taghut, has become your taghut, has become your idol now. You're making shirk through your father. Same thing here. Maslaha is from Islam. If you take it out of boundaries of Islam, now it's out of control. And very generally speaking, when people, they refer to these, like you have maslaha, you have also the trend of many, even in Arab world, right? The maqasidiyin, they call them, they always talk about maqasid Shari'ah, maqasid Shari'ah, maqasid Shari'ah. SubhanAllah, here at universities, sometimes the MSAs, that's why I feel bad, sometimes MSA people, they're just from the youth, they have no idea who to invite. Someone calls, oh, we have this great speaker who's an expert on Maqasid Shari'ah. He can give a lecture. La hawla wa la quwwata. May Allah Ta'ala, Allah yastar, as we say. And then, yes, you realize what he was promoting was a disaster. So some of these people, they say Maqasid Shari'ah, objective Shari'ah. Well, if you would just rely on objectives of Shari'ah, you know what does that mean? We cancel Quran. Quran will be just for barakah. There's no rulings of Quran anymore. We cancel all the hadith. We cancel the fiqh. We have 5 big objectives. Whatever you think is going to fulfill those objectives, say halal or haram. That's it. So we call them al-maqasidiyun. So usually these people who rely on maslaha or maqasid, they are one of 2 men. There's no third. I don't believe there's any third possibility. Either these people, they can be very ignorant, jahil, lazy people, they don't want to study the deen. It's too hard for him to go and study the fiqh because, books of fiqh, they can be heavy to read, to focus and to read the adillah and the conditions and shurut and everything. It's a headache. I don't want to be doing all of this. I just rely on very simple principles. 1, 2, 3, 4, halal, haram, halal, haram. Or some of them, as you said before, they are there to destroy Islam from within. But not to say that I'm bringing to you something from outside Islam. They will bring you something that sounds Islamic. So just throw some general concepts like maslaha, maqasid Shari'ah. Maslaha, maqasid Shari'ah. If it was like that, akhi, then really there will be no more boundaries to Islam. Islam is no different than any other ideology, right? It's a Machiavelli approach, maslaha. Whatever fulfills the objective in the end, the goal, good, it's Islam.